Rex's bounty hunting career started in the scrap heaps of the Underhive, pilfering anything valuable in a desperate search for credits to break free of his drudgery. His freedom was delivered in the form of a nearby manufactorum explosion tearing through the hive dome. It took 3 days for Rex to claw his way from the rubble, ranting about the epiphany granted in the moment of the explosion. He scavenged materials to fashion crude explosives with and set off to recapture that feeling. Realizing that claiming bounties was the most reliable way to maintain a steady supply of his precious explosives, Rex became the first choice for anyone needing an enemy to be eliminated in a dramatic fashion. Few, if any, of his targets came back in one piece, and none can deny that Rex's methods are efficient, enemies and allies alike scattering when his explosives start flying. Hello and welcome back to Wellywood Wargaming. My name is Damon and this is the huge series where I give you bite-sized videos on every single hired gun and dramatis personae in the game of Necromunda to date. Before I get started though, please do like, share, subscribe and check out the Patreon as well to support me further. And also do comment down below if you've used these characters in your games, because sometimes I miss stuff out, so it's good to get the community talking about these things as well. Rex Spires though, this one's an interesting one and certainly does offer you a lot of different stuff compared to the rest of the dramatis personae in the game. This one is very, very unique. The model is available from Forge World. It came, I believe, in a pack with Estus Jet, who I covered in an earlier video. But Rex Spires, pretty interesting model here. He looks almost like he's got one of those sort of Hurt Locker type suits on, but the model is very darkly painted, so I can't make out a lot of the details on this one, but a bunch of dynamite and bombs all on him with a scruffy hair and beard. Pretty cool, heavily armoured, but not represented in the game, unfortunately, with only flak armour. But we'll get into that in a second. In terms of the price for this guy, is 315 credits, which is very expensive. But like I said, he does offer you something very, very different in your games, and that is a whole shit ton of explosives. Kaboom. Let's look at the stats though. We've got a movement of 5+, a weapon skill of 4+, and a ballistic skill of 5+, which I have to say is a bit of a letdown when you see what he's got with him. We've got a strength and toughness of 3, 2 wounds, initiative of 4 up, and 1 attack. So pretty much a worse hive scum with that ballistic skill of 5 up. In terms of mental stats though, slightly better than a hive scum with 7 leadership, 7 cool, willpower of 8+, and 7+ intelligence there as well. However, this guy does come with 2 baked-in skills. We've got Evade, which is nice, and Lie Low. Both of those are cunning skills, and interesting ones to have, although certainly not game-breaking. In terms of weapons and equipment, though, like I mentioned earlier, we've only got flak armor, which is a bit of a shame, but I suppose it goes with the theme of all the explosives. And we have a frag trap, a melter trap, blasting charges, demo charges, and a knife. So lots of kaboom there. The frag trap and the melter trap obviously quite separate to the blasting charge and demo charge, but the blasting charge and demo charge both very, very powerful if they hit the target, that's for sure. But with that ballistic skill of 5+ and the way that grenades have been sort of nerfed in the newer version of Necromunda, means that you're very, very rarely actually hitting the target, unfortunately. However, if you do hit that target, the demo charge is very, very nasty indeed. The blasting charge is also pretty bad too. So nice to have, but just bear in mind that you're not going to be that accurate with them most of the time. In terms of the special rules for this guy though, and this is where he really sort of is different, and he's got a rule called demolition. So you can place up to 3 booby traps, either frag or melter, in the pre-battle sequence, which is really, really cool. Obviously you can buy booby traps for your gangs, but this guy comes inbuilt with 3 of them, which is really nice. He's also got a unique partnership with Vorgan Gunner Mort, who I'm going to cover when I get to the V's. He's kind of a heavy weapons specialist, and the guys sort of come together. Bit of a shame that they didn't actually release the models together, I have to admit, because there's actually no model for Vorgan Gunner Morts so far, which is a bit of a shame. But as you can see with the booby traps ability there, we've got, you know, he does offer some cool stuff, but I just question whether it's really worth 315 credits, I have to say. I don't think it is. You may as well just buy those booby traps yourself. And have them in your games. But again, he's fun, he's fluffy, he's got some really interesting stuff about him with the demo charges and the blasting charges there as well. But I don't think he's necessarily going to break the world in terms of his ability. For that price anyway, it's just too much. Of course, you could add this guy to your outcast gang as a leader. Pretty terrible stats to do so, but again, giving you that access to having the booby traps every single game would be pretty cool. But, you know, horses for courses. I wouldn't do it, but it is a sort of fun option, I suppose. Anyway, that's it for Rex Spires. Please do let me know if you've used them in your games, because obviously the model is readily available now, so I imagine a few of you have got it. I'd really sort of like to know how you utilize this guy in your games and your gangs, and what he's brought for you, whether he's won any games for you or anything. It'd be interesting to know. But yeah, with that ballistic skill of 5 up, I just think it's a bit of a letdown chucking those bombs. But again, you're buying him really for the melter traps and the frag traps there as well. Anyway, that's enough from me, so I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.